Oh, and share screen. Almost forgot to do that. And here we go. All right, cool. So from where we last left off, whoops.
Yeah, when you say arbitrary support, what do you mean by that?
If you really think about what's going on in the markets, y'all realize that like market structure is nothing more than to keep the village idiots from making things crash and go up unexpectedly. Like that's all this is. Y'all realize that, right? Hold on. I always forget that I have to do this too. Cool. Okay. Market structure. If it was up to normal people and like the average American or just the average person, you see this weekly chart, right? The minute something bad would happen, like the weekly chart would be the minute chart, except on a bigger scale. As soon as something happens, it'd be like, oh my God. That's how people think, right? And then if something good happens, the next day, they would go, yes, Jesus. That's how normal people think. So y'all understand that market structure is nothing more than a way to herd and funnel the money. That's literally all this is. Because without market structure, there would be chaos. Because most people who don't know any better, if they're not taught organization, oh man, it'd be terrible. So always keep this in mind. That's why I always say things like, this random point or this arbitrary point, because like that's all this stuff really is, guys. It's kind of why Forex, if you really think about it, is a lot easier than it's supposed to be. Because like all you have to do, okay, all these nerds that are taught this, what would they aim for? That's why I hardly ever use Fibonacci points and how I'm magically usually on point about where stuff will go. Because, well, nerds have been taught this, so it's probably going to hit about there. You feel me? Like, it's kind of psychology, because all this is a way to like herd and funnel people. This is actually panic and greed control. That's what this is. All of this is panic and greed control. Now, sometimes people with more money than you, they will use this to your advantage, to where they'll get you to panic on stuff like this. See that wick? Oh my God, it's going up. And that's how they use structure to get you, you know? Same thing on the smaller time frames. So anyway, where was I? So using the logic of this is still technically forming a breakout or so. Whoops. I mean, on the zoomed out chart, you've got an arbitrary W, you've got a teacup. This is still this is still bullish. Like, yeah, it'll go down, but it's still bullish, guys. Like, I don't know how else to put this to you. You use any low point that you get to buy. You can kind of guess where the low points are going to be. Here's a good one. 0.752. That's a pretty good one, because you've got this one. You've got this one. Look left. They seem to really like that number, right? It might extend to 0.750, kind of like that one buy I did drunk with my students one time. It'll probably, I mean, it could extend there. So, okay, that's a pretty good probability. Another good probability point with better risk management, 0.756. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because you got this one. You've got that one. You've got that one. You've got this one. This technically was almost a resistance. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You got this shit over here on the left. This seems like a good point to play chicken at. Does that make sense? Like, all these points are nothing more than where people like to play chicken. That's it. And whoever has more money and their opinion is right is right. If only y'all knew who y'all were playing against. It's kind of funny. So, anywho, high probability long. What everyone's expecting is This will kind of fugazi around and just, whoa, shit, and then kind of eventually break out of this range, right? Break out of this range, go freedom, and then they will simply use a point on the left, like, ooh, this looks like a pretty good point, right here. And you got this one right here, and you got this support, and you got this support that held the uptrend, and you got this support. Oh, that looks like a pretty good point. Let's go ahead and smack the living crap out of this, right? And they'll probably smack it down. And then it goes back to the zone and then goes back up. And, well, there you go. Technically, this reversal right here, if you really looked at it, is like 1. This is 2, and then that's 3. That's probably how this is going to end up happening. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but it's a good probability that happens. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe. I'm crazy. I wear a tinfoil hat. Anyone say anything?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
So, like, you've got support. You've got resistance, support, resistance, arbitrary, and, well, that looks like a pretty good point to attack. Boom. Like, that's how this market works. Literally, people with more money than you just kind of look at a number, look to the left, and go, huh, that looks fun, and then they push the red button, and it makes all of y'all mad, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I guess technically, this is, if you're using MMM or whatever, this is like your chop or whatever. This is push 1. This is trap 1. We're in the middle of push 2. This will probably be trap 2. And then this will probably go to about like 0.860 or something. That's kind of where I'm aiming long term.
Makes sense, bro. Makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. That's if you're using that method. If you're using the looking left method, you just figure out where are these people most likely to piss everyone off, and that's where you aim. Like, literally, that's how you do it. At the moment, like I said, Chris, I got talked out of cashing my longs a lot earlier than I should have, because everybody swore that this was going to go down at 0.760 or 769 or something like that, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I could have made more, but you know what, it's whatever. What I'm doing instead is I'm holding, I can't believe I'm doing this because I got talked into the hype, holding the short until it gets to about that point, and I'll just buy again. Like, honestly, I've been waiting for a rebuy for 2 weeks now. Yeah, like, as this goes up, okay, as this was lower, you compounded this up into several buy orders until it hit that weekly level. Like, if you guys go back to my older webinars and everything, you will notice that the weekly sell level was around this trend line, and I told y'all very specifically that my plan was to get the heck out of here before the sellers attacked, right? And, well, look where we are now. That was the whole point, because just as predicted, you know, your Pierres and your institutional traders and everything, they're looking at that and going, aha, this is a good place to strike because you've got resistance, you've got this trend line. It's got to test it at least once, because for some weird reason, people got to touch things with the tip. They feel like they have to, because Lord have mercy, you shall not pass. I don't know. That's the way the market works for some reason. So, okay, well, if we're on buys, let's take profit around that area. So those that have been following me for weeks will understand why I chose that point, because of all of these arbitrary lines. That's why. Yeah. Yeah. This pair is a lot easier to play than some of the pairs you are trying to play. Sitting here, like, you guys have to understand that it's not your job to be right. It's not your job to be right or to, like, haha, look, I called that this was going this way. Who gives a shit? It's your job to get paid. And AUD and gold and NZD, especially for my students, now you guys understand why I kept telling y'all, look, man, y'all go play pairs that aren't JPY. Y'all go play pairs that aren't G, because the pairs that are going to make us money are right there. They're all right there. And it's like I don't like pushing against a train. I'd rather hop on the train and be on the train than try to push against it. Like, making it harder than it's supposed to be. Right? At the time, about 3 weeks ago, USD CAD was a train. And, well, it paid well. Okay, yeah, it's not sexy, and it's not like, oh, we're going to be the brave GU buyers. Who gives a shit? I care about getting paid. I don't care about being right. I care about being paid.
G shit.
That should be y'all's goal, too. I mean, yeah, Clay, it made it to the fibbing notching number or something, or whatever the fuck y'all use. I don't give a shit, because by then I already made money. Y'all can try to play pin the doodle all y'all want. I don't care, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why many of y'all blow accounts and like I don't, and my students are starting to learn not to blow accounts, because we don't give a shit. We don't care. We make money. Always remember that. The goal in Forex is not to be correct, it's to get paid. Simple. You do what gets you paid. Don't try to be fancy. Don't try to be slick. Do what gets paid. So, that being said, this is a good pair that will get you paid with patience, just like USD CAD will, just like gold will. If you sold on the sell that I missed because I was asleep Friday, there's a good chance you're going to win money. I'm not sure if it goes to 1,300 just this hot second. People seem to kind of be forgetting that we still have problems in the world, but 1,300 is not bad if you're selling from up high. 1,313 is not bad if you're selling from up high. If you're selling lower, though, like if you're selling at the 30s or the 20s or the 40s or whatever, your goal should be 1320, GTFO, and observe. See, that's where everybody else messes up in Forex. Like, you guys have to understand that this is a game of probability. Not every point has to be tested. Some points will break just because they feel like. I mean, like, it's not going to be this isn't an exact science, even though sometimes some of us make it look that way. Like I say, half the time when my plans work to a T, I have no idea how the hell that happened other than, wow, cool, you know? But in all reality, this is really not an exact science. Like, the people with more money than you, they're guessing too. This is a giant guessing game. Whoever guesses what everyone else guesses, what they're guessing, who guesses what guesses, is who wins this game. Like, seriously, that's why you have so many different strategies and so many different like tools. You have, you've got people who can at least count. They can count to 3 and they count to 5 and they win. You've got people who draw Pokemon and they win. You've got people that use like W's and M's and somehow they win, or they do goddamn trigonometry and calculus and they somehow win. They all work at certain points and they all don't. It's that simple. I guess since you brought up gold, let's go look at gold. This week was a good week on gold. Like, I loved gold this week because it paid very well and it respected my plans, damn it. But that doesn't mean it's going to do that the next week. Again, half the market is anticipation and half of it is reaction. Things aren't always going to go according to plan. I mean, I was able to figure out it was going to go right there. I had to adjust the plan and figure out later in the evening when this happened that this was going to go up about there. I mean, shit. Everyone figured it'd stop here, and some people thought it would stop here because of the tools that we use. You got to be able to react if you're watching this, or if you're holding the NFP sell, you just kind of laugh as this is still in the downtrend, right? But just because it's in downtrend doesn't mean it has to get there immediately. Again, nothing in Forex moves in straight lines unless it's news or people just YOLO sell. It does happen. So, I mean, yeah, it worked where we hit buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell all week. And we got lucky that we just in time saw this. I'm gonna try to draw it kind of. This is what it looked like. This is what it looked like before yesterday's BizNads. It looked kind of like this. The arbitrary triangle of death, right? This is a triangle no one wants to play. An equilateral triangle kind of sucks, to be honest. Like, yeah, you can catch the ranges if you get in early. This whole area was oh wait, oh shit, it was like this now that I remember. No wait. Hey, one of my students, can you remind me where we were? It was like down here, right? This is when we drew the triangle, right? Because we went off the trend line from the top of this, obviously respecting that. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's where we're. So keeping that in mind, normally whenever you're playing an equilateral triangle, the later you get into it, the shittier it gets. Like you don't want to be here. You don't want to be in this area for this reason, because everyone with more money than you is thinking the same thing we are. Well, fuck, this can go either way, and it's honestly going to depend on what everyone does. So one reason why buyers got RIPs because they bought late and they expect this to go up. But remember, all of these like lines and stuff, these are not definite. They're not always going to hold because they're stupid lines. And why y'all get obsessed with these is kind of silly if you really think about it. Like, not every pattern is going to work 100%. Things will go past it. It can happen. You know, I mean, you can go with high probability and say that, well, this is technically still a long, right? Because, well, it respects this trend line right here that we drew like ages ago. This could still be a long. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it could go up and then short, but again, probability. And we're going off of factors that the U.S. dollar looks strong, right? For this week, that is. I can't guarantee on Wednesday yet. You've got a high probability that's the factor. You've got that it held support over here on the left. It held that support. It also is technically respecting some arbitrary trend line right here, right? It's still within this zone. So people who bought gold before the weekend, they should get what they want. They should get a good gap, and they will make some form of money somewhere, more than likely. If it gaps down, it'll probably test like 1332, 1330, somewhere around there, and then go up, and they'll still make money. That's probably how this happens. And then after that, Asia is going to go lol. They're going to set y'all up, and then boom. That's the most likely scenario based on the other clues that we've seen. We didn't just look at gold. We looked at JPY. We looked at the futures market on JPY. We looked at the U.S. dollar market. Let's look at the DXY real quick. Almost forgot.
Hey, after this, can you go over one more time what you saw on the futures market?
Wow, that actually really respected the plan. Holy shit. I keep forgetting that. Yeah, good luck, buddy. So,
Yo, where's the flag right there?
the what, buddy?
The flag. Where is it?
On what?
You drew a flag.
Oh, no, this was weeks ago. The flag was right here.
Oh,
This was when USD CAD was on my money run, where I was like literally just like, fuck, man, we're going to the club. You know? That was a flag. Because, I mean, it looks like one. And it held support 1, 2, 3 times. That's one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 is several different methods. Like, you've got this BizNads where, okay, whoops. That's one form of, god damn it. Okay, it's one form of 1, 2, 3. Then you've also got boom, 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 yay.
What the heck is that, bro?
What's up?
What is that? Like on a trend line? Like respecting a trend line?
No, I'm just showing in general. Like, for example, if it touches a support 3 times on a large time frame, there's a pretty good chance it's going to go up. This is the daily chart, right?
Right.
So, I mean, again, this is all probability. I mean, I'm not going to, I might as well just go roll the dice. But, you know, let's look at what happened on this flag, for instance. And the reason why my friends and I bought USD CAD and we're just like rolling in the dice that day, because We look down on the daily chart. Oh, well, shit. 1, 2, 3. Well, fuck. And we bought USD CAD around here. Okay, well, that makes sense. And then it just kind of went, wee. And then we took profit at around like 1.324 or something like that. Because they all follow each other. I don't know how this is holding, but the support on this is holding. I don't know how, because the dollar kind of sucks, but this is why okay, so what this is a daily chart, yeah?
So DXY, if it's going down, the dollar is weak or strong?
The dollar is weak if the DXY is going down. Generally speaking, you can use this as a measurement for almost all USD pairs, because what will happen, so when you look at the indexes, it determines the strength of the pair. It helps determine the strength of the pair. It's one factor. I mean, you can also look at the equity markets. Generally speaking, if the equity markets, okay, it also depends on like what's going on at the time. The US dollar was weak about Monday or so with no news because the equity markets were being pumped full of money. For some reason, America smelled an opportunity and Asia cashed out and they just traded places. So
They always cash out, bro.
yeah, they do. They're smart. I'm telling you. So they basically, with that going on, with money going into the equity markets, that generally will weaken the currency because people are pulling money out of the currency directly and putting it into the stock markets and to ETFs and into like mutual funds and stuff like that, right? Money has to go from one place to another place. Like this money don't just magically appear. That's another thing you guys want to try to do. Like you guys want to follow where the money is coming from, why it's going, where it's going, and how it's going, because it's a good clue as to what's going to happen next. Like y'all thought it was funny when I was ranting and raving about the Asians. Like, damn, these guys already know that NFP is going to be bad. And then NFP was bad because they know, because you follow the money trail. How is it that money all of a sudden disappeared from the DAX, went into the Dow Asia, and the next morning magically popped into the NASDAQ and into the S&P and into the Dow and into the net, like all of the, how did that magically happen all within one day of Asia pushing buttons? They know something's up.
Okay.
Follow the money. It helps you figure out where stuff is going. Like, if you start practicing doing this, this is a skill that literally will take 30 seconds and you go, holy shit, I actually know what's going on. And the more you practice this, the better at it you get. Okay.
So explain that shit again, bro. The equities and the mutual funds and everything. Like, how do you know what's pumping and dumping? Like, when do you know that?
Wait, I didn't catch that last part, bro.
You say, okay, they're putting money into equities, they're putting money here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean for the USD?
It depends. It depends what's going on, if there's any news, and what time of day it is. Generally speaking, okay. So the FTSE, British stocks, right? They're being stimulated by the government. There's a reason why those companies are being saved. They're getting stimulus from the government. What happened to, the U.S. government bailed out people and their businesses from giant banks to auto retailers, right? You guys remember this back in like 2008 and everything. Like,
No.
Y'all remember this, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Let's go to the monthly. Okay, let's see. Alrighty, so all right. Anybody during this whole time, the US dollar went up high in strength, right? This was about 2001. This is around the time 9/11 happened, right? This is slightly after that. So I don't know if any of you guys remember, but after this happened, we had a housing and an equity market boom. I don't know if you guys remember this. We had a housing and equity market boom. There was no need to invest in the dollar directly because we didn't need the buying power of the dollar because the economy was good. the dollar could be cheaper because we were making goods. We had healthy trade. There was no reason to have that high, right? So that's why that kept falling, right? And they kept falling. And then all of a sudden in 2008, something magical happened. Something very magical that cost a lot of people money and freaked the hell out of the U.S., the housing bubble.
Okay.
2008, right? 2008. Why the fuck do you think there was a reversal there? What could have possibly made the DXY reverse when we had a economic problem happen? That was because money was being pulled out of the stock market and out of the housing market, which is equities. Those are all part of equities, right? Now, you can have moments where both the dollar and not only the dollar, but the equities go up, but it honestly depends on what is going on at the time across the globe. During this time, the U.S. was what was in focus. We were the ones going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Why do you think the pound climbed up so high as well? Because even though the dollar went up in value, the pound also stayed relatively in power. So keeping that in mind, equity markets are pulling out. The money is going to go somewhere, right?
Okay. So wait, real quick. So okay, the economy was shit, but the dollar strengthened, right?
Yeah, the economy was crap, but the dollar power went up because some of the money that fled the markets went straight to the dollar. It's kind of like some people like to take money out of the dollar and they like to put it into gold, right? Well,
Yeah.
you can do the same thing from the equity market aspect, right? Some investors will put the money into a currency and some investors will put the money into a commodity. That's what happened.
Simple. Okay. So what they did was put money into houses.
Yeah, like they literally invested money into the dollar to make its buying power stronger to help people not freak out.
There was a lot of money putting inside the U.S. at that time.
Oh yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Okay, let's look at gold real quick and see what happened back then. Notice how in 2008, again, 2008 was a very, very strange time because everyone expected the bubble to not be as, like, when the bubble burst, your first phase is denial. Like, nah, this ain't that big of a problem. Our own government did it. I don't know if any of y'all remember that, but the first thing was, guys, it's going to be okay. We're going to chill. So first thing that happened when that all happened was gold started to go down in value because it's like, oh, well, they can fix it. Great, right? And people who were watching this and playing this were like, oh, crap, they said they're going to fix it. Well, damn, there goes our gold run. Hold on a second. Hello? Yeah. I'm still at Starbucks right now. I'm in the middle of a webinar. I got to go, sorry. Bye. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, so the dollar went up, right? Gold went down, but that didn't mean that was the end of the problem, right? The first wave was people were like, okay, this won't last long. Usually when the equities go out first, the first place they go to is the currency. That's if they're convinced that this is a temporary problem. And at the time they were. I remembered this because somebody say something?
I feel you.
Oh, okay. So then after that, it was apparent that we were in much bigger trouble than we thought, right? So then it's amazing how these magically correlated, right? But then we go here. Excuse me.
So millionaires basically make money here, then they move, make money here, move, make money here.
Yep, you got it. Okay, 2015, right? A little bit of a downtrend and then it goes up, right? 2015, the dollar goes up. Interesting, right? Interesting how the dollar goes up and gold at the same time is also going up. This is what I mean by it depends on what's going on in the world. Just because just because the dollar goes down or the dollar goes up does not always mean that gold is going to go up or down. Again, it depends on what's going on in the world. Everybody seems to forget that the U.S. is not the only one that owns gold, right? Now, at the time...
Is it also because the dollar is it a safe haven?
The dollar is definitely not a safe haven.
Oh.
It is not a safe haven. No, sir. No, it is a faith-based currency backed by military and government principles and credit. Gee, that sounds great, doesn't it? So, I mean, yeah, you guys have to consider what you're doing. So, how strange is it that gold went up when the dollar went up, and that's also around the same time that our equity market started to have a rally too. That's because the U.S. was doing great, right? Now the U.S. is not doing so good. Our stimulus plan isn't working so well, as we're kind of starting to see.
What do you expect for the elections, bro? Looking at the charts as well.
Where do you live? Where do you live, Santiago?
Miami.
Oh shit. I'm going to Honduras and I'm going to go live with Ricardo. That's what I'm going to do for the election. Just kidding.
I hope we can be there with you.
We're going to go to Utila and we're going to have a bunch of cheap liquor because that's the cheapest commodity they got over there. That's my
Just go to DR. And you get some nice wedding days.
For the election, I honestly have no clue, and may God have its mercy on everyone.
Oh, Lord. So that's safe to say you're going to hide away from these charts? Or you just watch?
Well, to be honest, I'm going to be looking at commodities more than anything, because if Hillary gets elected, commodities are going to be very fun to play. Because they're going to go up. If Trump goes up, or Trump gets elected, we're going to have to start looking at outside the world to make better decisions, because we don't know really what his plan is per se. He hasn't really figured it out, I think, either, other than make America great again and make businesses roar.
Bro, but do you think that the president has a high impact on the economy, or more like the Federal Reserve?
Yes, they both do. Because the Federal Reserve not only plans, but they have to react too. You guys realize that the Reserve is kind of doing what we're doing. Like, literally, Yellen is going, okay, this looks bad. You know? And they're doing the same thing that we're doing on a bigger scale. They can make decisions, but most of the time, believe it or not, they are reacting
to people, basically, right?
Yeah, they're reacting to what's going on.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's taking us forever to raise the rate? Why do you think that's taking so long? If it was up to, like, if the Federal Reserve was really in charge of everything and the end-all be-all, they would have done it already. But they can't, because they have to react to what is happening.
Okay, so they don't have, okay.
They're not the...
Alright, but you know, Robert Kiyosaki, he predicted the 2008 bubble thing, and he also said that 2016 there was going to be a crash. So,
you know, economists can say that all day. It's very possible. I mean, I'm not denying it could happen. In fact, that's kind of what everybody is expecting. But then again, Nostradamus said that we should have been dead already. Again, you react to the market. That's all you can do. The market is nice enough to leave clues. If Japan keeps playing this game and they don't know how to press the quit button on the Nintendo, they might make it happen. They might make it happen not even knowing what they're doing. Well, they actually know what they're doing, but the point is they might do it too hard. So,
bro, mute that guy, bro. Mute whoever has that on.
The Jamalex.
Wait, what?
Mute Jamalex. He has something on.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are. If you guys have something,
we got it.
Oh, okay. hey, if you guys have like any charts you want to do or anything y'all want to discuss, like you guys can also take over a screen share. Like it doesn't just have to be me talking and me like blah, 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 blah. Like
I like it, bro. I like it. Don't worry. Keep going.
God, you're fucking making me talk so much. Oh my God.
Hey, Clay, can we look at oil?
All right, we can look at oil. But what did I tell you, Tristan? That oil was going to go up because news was looking like it was going to be bad.
And if you go to weekly on oil, go to weekly.
Weekly on oil is still bearish, but boy, it's getting debatable.
Wait, but look at it. Is there a reversal pattern or am I crazy?
Technically, it's a hammer, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go all the way. It could do this. It could still do this. Oh man.
Boom.
Or it could just go only part way and do that. I mean, not every hammer and not every doji is going to go to infinity.
But what if it engulfs? What if it engulfs hard? Or not?
I mean, it's a high probability that it's going to keep going up, but hold on. Let's look out real quick. Zoom way out.
Yeah. What the hell? That drop.
So y'all can let's see this drop. Oh, look at that. That was in 2008. How weird. How strange is that?
So why did that happen, Clay? Or what do you think that happened?
That's suspect. Because oil economics goes kind of weird. Normally, oil is a great indicator for the U.S. dollar, even better than gold sometimes. But it kind of also depends what's going on in the world. Because now you have Russia playing, now you have China playing. The Middle East ain't wanting to play fair, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, normally speaking, these days, when oil is bearish, the U.S. dollar is good. That's why USD CAD goes up.
Oh, right.
And when oil is bullish, the dollar is usually weak. Usually.
Yeah.
So part of the reason why this went up was because equities went down and oil went down. Well, one option is the dollar itself because of oil. Like, everyone acts like gold and the dollar are like the strongest of indicators, and this is not true. This is not true. It's a very high percentage, but oil is very, very, very strong correlation as well. It's kind of why, honestly, what gave away the news the last week was both oil and gold. Why would gold keep trying to go up, and why would oil keep trying to go up? How weird. There must be something wrong coming on the horizon. Does it make sense? Kind of like I was telling my students, how weird is it that gold, just before news started to turn bullish, both
Crash,
gold,
bro.
yeah, it was slow, and then it was sudden, all of a sudden. And that was what concerned me, was a lot of people think USD news is going to be good, but oil is telling me this is not the case. So is gold. And I'd be damned if they both went up. Oh, hey, this is about to end, and I'm actually probably fixing to go because I have another workout, and Starbucks was closing in about 17 minutes. So y'all PM me if you have any questions. Thanks for coming. I love every single one of y'all. And, oh my God, be sure to like my channel. Be sure to like my channel and subscribe.
Have a good night, Clay.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
Hey, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.